Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and with me, as always,
Gator.
So, today we are...
By the way, folks, we had a great cold open, but we both agreed it was too ignorant to even use.
Whoa,
but
yeah.
We laughed our asses off.
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you, I did save it, so if I ever actually put together the episode of Nothing But Outtakes that I've been threatening for a little bit, you might hear it on there, but I'll warn you, you're going to want to definitely turn your speakers in your cars down because you will blow them out if you're listening to this at any sort of a regular volume and that thing comes on.
We didn't want to cause, like tinnitus in all of our listeners.
It would have been...
Everybody's ears are ringing from here on out.
It would have been a nightmare. It would have been an absolute nightmare. So, anyway.
But it was really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, what are we smoking today?
So today we are smoking the JTL Trinidad Espiritu. This cigar is a collaboration between AJ Fernandez and Rafael Nodal. So, there you go.
Well, look at there.
Filler and binder and wrapper are all Nicaraguan with a natural color.
If I'm led to believe from the sticker, it's handmade in Nicaragua as well.
It is. It's actually manufactured at AJ Fernandez factory in Esteli. So... there we go.
Did you say it's a 54 by 6?
I did not. You and I are smoking the Toro size, which is a 6 by 54.
Hold on. Back the truck up.
What?
You're right.
Yes. Of the two of us, I should be the one that knows the cigar notes.
Especially since you bought them.
Exactly.
I'm smoking free today, folks.
We're just moving right on into this because Jeff and I are kind of... open and honest transparency.
Nothing.
Open and honest transparency, folks. We're winging this episode, so...
we're not winging them all.
Right now, well... yeah,
more than normal?
Way more than normal. This is one
Can you hear this when I'm tapping this?
Yes, I can.
And nail cutters on the table?
Stop, please. Yeah.
One more time?
No.
Okay, there.
Okay.
Had to get it out of my system.
So it's time for us to cut our cigar. What do you smell, Jeff?
Cigar.
Well, that was honest. Now, folks,
it's flavorful.
We are not recording this at night.
No, we are actually a rare daytime recording.
Rare daytime recording. And I'll tell you that, well, I just janked that cut already.
Get the cutter back?
No, I just janked it. I got a little bit of wrapper splittage, but,
You're going to power through?
I'll be fine. Get some sweet on the cold draw. That's for sure. You get sweet? I'll tell you, folks.
I'm getting sweet and leathery.
Okay.
I'm getting some leather, actually. And I'm normally not that guy. I'm normally not the guy that's picking up all the... I always make fun of the tea-berry and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm actually picking up, like
leather.
Yeah, a taste like leather smells.
Well, there you go. The other bit of open and honest transparency, folks, is that... so we are recording this during the day. It's right around lunchtime, and I have not eaten anything yet. So I've done a little bit of reading about this cigar already. Jeff has not. Jeff is looking at me very, very worried right now. And
I am coming in blind, folks.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm a little concerned about the fact that I haven't eaten anything yet. So we're going to go ahead and...
is this like laced with pot or something?
We're going to light
what
this
the hell?
cigar and get this rolling. Do you not have a torch?
I do not. I'm going to borrow yours. Mine's out in the Jeep. My Jeep broke this week, too. That's something I'm going to talk about after you get lit up here. Borrowing the lighter. Well, it smells good. You know what? It smells like pipe tobacco.
Oh, my God. I am reserving all comment until you get that thing lit and you try it, Jeff. Jeff has lit and is trying his cigar now.
Okay, Nick, so talk to me. What are you getting?
This is pepper, dude. This is sweet, but, man, the pepper bomb is hitting hard.
I'm getting the sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the tingles. Now, I will say...
well, that's just because you're here with me.
No, I will also say I am having a bit of wrapper splittage down at the foot of this thing, but I don't believe that's the fault of the cigar as much as the fact that when I asked Jeff for... it's about 52 degrees out right now, folks, and I asked Jeff for a little blanket because just a throw.
It's
nothing
beautiful
big.
out.
And so Jeff gives me not one, not two, but 3 beach towels.
I gotta get a picture of
And
this.
the problem is he knocked my cigar off the table. And when he did that, I think I have some wrapper cracks going on.
He's got like 2 blankets or 2 towels that are Minecraft and a Hello Kitty blanket.
Yeah, the Hello Kitty, the pink Hello Kitty towel really adds to the
Yes.
look.
You're warm. It's nice out. I don't know how in the world you could be cold.
I mean, I'm in shorts.
I was covering a soccer game yesterday in shorts, and people are like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "It's not cold yet." And they're all, I mean, literally, they were in their like winter gear. It was.
I'm not saying I need winter gear, but I probably should have wore jeans instead of shorts.
I hate wearing jeans.
So
I'm to the point
you
where
have to be
I'm
getting
too
spice
lazy.
off that thing.
No, I'm enjoying this.
You're high.
You were really expecting me to get like blown out by the cigar. Aren't
Just
you?
wait. Just wait. Just wait. That is going to transition on you.
Nothing yet.
There's no way. No way.
Our palates are different.
Yeah, dude.
It's. I'm not getting it. I'm not. Trust me, I'd tell you if I was, because I don't like spicy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep smoking. See how this goes. So speaking of the weather, Jeff and I have been in conversation with the Hill Cigar Company, and
Love those people.
we are going to be recording there over the winter.
Yay, we have a home.
We have a home. So I was a little concerned that come January we were going to be icicles out here on the deck trying to, smoke a
Huddled around a
around
mosquito candle.
like a barrel full of fire, just trying desperately to stay warm and record. But no, we will be recording at the world famous St. Louis landmark Hill Cigar Company, located on Southwest Avenue.
Oh, look at that. Nice touch.
Right?
Okay, now I'm getting a little spice.
I knew it.
It's coming.
I knew it was going to hit you.
So I referenced this earlier, and I'm going to circle back to it. My Jeep broke this week, and there is no worse feeling in life than when you get in your vehicle and it won't start. And I jumped in my Jeep on Sunday just to move it. I wasn't even going anywhere. I was just moving it in the driveway to get another vehicle out, and click, and nothing. And I knew it wasn't the battery. I had lights, everything was working fine. But I'd had a little issue with my starter a couple of times where, you get like a flat spot on a starter or a dead spot.
Yeah.
And when, normally you can just turn the key a couple of times and it'll jump past it and you're good to go. There was no jumping past it. It locked in on it. I even got under it. There's that old trick. You tap it with a hammer.
You talked about this in the last episode a little bit.
Did not work.
Yeah.
So the next day, I decide, hey, I'm a farm boy. I can change out a starter. I've changed out many starters. Well, guess what? Apparently they built the '07 Jeep Wrangler around the starter. So it was the first piece of the puzzle that
Literally
they assembled.
suspended the starter by wires in the middle of the room and started to
Yes.
build the Jeep around it. And then when it got to the point that it had enough casing, they could unsuspend or take out the wires so that they could do their. I got it. I see.
It's
what
exactly what they did. So I get under it, I get one bolt off. And if anybody knows me, I'm not really a mechanic, but I am a farm kid, and I know how to do some of this stuff. And I get one bolt off, and I can't even reach the second bolt. How in the world anyone can reach that second bolt, I'll never understand. There must be some specialized piece of equipment, or it's nanotechnology, and they're shrinking down the mechanics and just putting them inside the engine block.
I can see that.
That's my only explanation.
Ant-Man.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mechanic Man.
There you go.
See? We just made up a superhero.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
All right. So, anyway.
So, was able to, had to get it towed. It was a whole thing. But my Jeep is back up and running now, and I'm all excited.
Well, there you go.
So, but it has been, it was
Now,
one of
folks,
those distractions I didn't want.
Here's the funniest part, is Jeff had to go and walk to the repair shop to pick up his Jeep. And he called me about halfway through this walk. Now, how many blocks was this, Jeff?
It was about 8.
About 8 blocks. I swear to God, folks, you would have thought Jeff had to hike, across the country. I mean, just The wheezing.
At one point, I turned around and there were a bunch of people following me looking for advice.
The wheezing. Yeah, all Forrest Gump. Well, it's because she looked like somebody that's been walking across the country for like 2 years already. Oh, my God.
I gave some guy a Shit Happens t-shirt, and he's making money off them now. It's great.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wheezing on this call and just bitching.
That wouldn't have anything to do with my 3 or 4 cigar a day habit either.
Bitching
and no exercise.
up a storm about having to go and walk to get his car. And it was amusing.
It was a whole thing.
It was amusing.
It was a whole thing.
It was indeed a whole thing. And in all fairness, I did say that
he actually offered to drive down and get me.
I did offer, to take you to your car. Now, I was going to have to make you wait about 2 hours.
How lazy would I be if I would make you drive 40 minutes so I don't have to walk 8?
It's true.
It is true. And I couldn't.
Wait. Stop just a minute. There's no way you're walking 8 blocks in 8 minutes.
Oh, 8 blocks? Yeah. A block a minute. I can do a block a minute. I used to run a 10-minute mile.
Used to is the key word.
That is a long time ago.
That was many, many, many Wednesdays ago.
Valid point. But even a 10-minute mile is not that fast. But I was doing a 10-minute mile. Back in like when I went in the Air Force, I was doing a 10-minute mile.
The high standards of the Air Force, right there.
I went in late in life. I went in at 33, and I had a longer time to do the mile or to do the 2 miles than the younger kids did.
Okay.
So which worked out in my favor. Something fierce. So what do you got there, Nick? What do you want to talk about?
What are you getting on your cigar?
It's good.
Pepper?
I'm getting a little pepper. I'm getting leather. I'm getting all. It's all over the place. Tell me about what is it? What am I supposed to be getting off this cigar?
Oh, I don't like to do that. I don't like to
But I want to know if I'm completely off.
Pepper is the big thing that I kept reading a lot about with this cigar. That it was really strong and peppery.
This is not pepper bombing me. From what you're saying, I should be getting. It's not doing that to me. I wonder if it's because we're outside.
That might be part of it. Maybe,
Because I notice a difference when I smoke in my Jeep driving as opposed to sitting out here.
Yeah.
I will get different notes and different flavors.
Half the cigar experience is the smoke and what you get from the smoke. And if you're outside, Mother Nature is taking that portion of the experience and taking it away from you. And
that bitch.
I know, right? And so, that's why a lot of times, if you're into lighter cigars, Connecticut's, things of that nature, and you maybe go out golfing or something and have one of those, they taste almost like nothing because you don't have that smoke to add to the experience.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, you'll hear people or tobacconists, recommend that maybe if you're going to be outside, smoke something a little stronger.
You mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah, that way you get it pumps that up just a little bit more. And so it takes what would be a really strong smoke for you indoors and makes it a more palatable smoke outdoors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I could see that today because basically what you're telling me I'm supposed to be getting on this cigar, what I'm reading in between the lines, I'm not getting. I think you thought I was going to hate this cigar something fierce.
I did, actually.
Did you? Yeah, I could just tell from the look on your face.
I think that this was going to be a cigar that you were not going to like.
No, I like it.
It's not bad.
You're not a fan.
It's very one note for me. Very one note. It's just spice. I'm not getting really anything else off of this. It's just, it was sweet on the cold draw. I'll give it that. It was sweet on the cold draw.
Did you get the leather at all?
I didn't really get much in the way of leathery from it. I got sweet, but then we started smoking it, and it just almost immediately was just a pepper bomb. And
the funny thing on the cold draw, and even when I started the cigar, and I know this is going to sound weird, it tasted like a new belt smells. That's what I was getting.
That is the weirdest description.
It tasted, like the leather.
Yeah.
But it tasted like a new belt smells. You know when you get a new belt and you can smell that fresh leather?
Yeah.
That's what it tasted like.
Huh.
And I'm normally not that guy. I'm normally not getting that stuff.
Interesting.
But I did off this cigar. Maybe it's just the fact that this is that intense, that I'm actually able to pick up on those kind of flavor notes. You just jank your cigar?
No, I removed the. So this thing has 2 bands on it, and so I removed the first band, and a small little flake of wrapper came off with the band. So I don't know what this thing is. I mean, I've had this thing in my humidor, but for some reason it's just almost like acting like it's dried out.
Mine's just fine.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah, I was saying. Maybe it's just the fact that we threw it on the ground and I picked it up with my foot.
That was the most disturbing thing, is the fact that you rolled it, because it rolled underneath the table. So, of course, what's Jeff do? Grabs his foot and rolls it near him. So that was awesome. Thankfully, it was on the end that's burning and not the end that I put in my mouth. Otherwise, we'd have swapped cigars.
The whole time, Nick's screaming at me, don't touch that with your foot. Don't touch that with your foot. So I had to touch it with my foot.
Filthy animal. Anyway.
You're the one that likes to hang out with me. I don't get it.
I don't either.
No one else does.
No, I know,
No one
right?
else does either.
I don't. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. Oh, my gosh. So last night, I went by the Hill Cigar Company.
I missed out on a good time, it sounds like.
I had to drop off some diapers. So one of the guys over there, Marvin, is having his 5th child.
They know what causes that now.
They do. It took him a little bit of experimenting, but he finally figured it out, I think. But Marv is having a little
Love you,
girl,
Marv.
And they had a diaper party for him on Saturday, but unfortunately both you and I were unable to make it. And so I figured I'd go ahead and bring the diapers up yesterday, thinking better late than never. And I bought size the 4s, because I figured everybody gives newborn diapers at a diaper party. And I'm thinking he's going to end up with just a shit ton of newborn diapers, and he's not going to have any for when this kid, grows. So I bought some 4s. And
God knows they're going to use them.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I bought the big box. I went up to the hill, and I walk in, and who's the first person I see but Corey Frisbee.
Corey Frisbee.
Now, we've talked about Corey before. Corey is the cigar broker. Works with a lot of brands, Oscar, Casada. Oh, he has multiple brands in his portfolio, and he was in town, and so we sat around and smoked and talked and hung out for a little while, and it turns out that it is Jess's birthday. Jess being the manager at the Hill, so
she's a rock star.
Dude, people know her.
Oh well, who doesn't?
I know, right?
If you don't, you need to.
So she was hanging out, and Corey brought a nice bottle of whiskey for her. Now, I'm, as we've pointed out in prior episodes, I'm not much of a drinker, so I didn't want to. I didn't partake in the whiskey because I didn't. It's more.
Yet.
Well, my whole thing is I can't appreciate it, and so I'm not going to take some of this.
So you're saying you didn't have anything to drink that night? Oh wait.
Well, so
moving along,
we ended up, after the Hill shut down, we ended up going to this bar that's about a block away from the cigar lounge, right there on Southwest, and it was a nice little bar.
Our buddy Tony, I think, went down there with you as well.
Yeah, and so
we've gotten to know a lot of these really good people.
Yeah,
at the Hill.
So Tony and Tron and Corey and Jess and I, we ended up down at this bar, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I can't, but we were the only ones there, and that was nice. And
you said it's closing in a week anyway, didn't you?
Month.
Okay.
Month. It's under contract, so. But we went down there, and so then Corey starts just, the rounds of Maker's Mark start.
Oh, Lord.
I did end up with two shots of Maker's Mark before I cut myself off,
tapped out,
and started just down in water like you wouldn't believe. And about 2 hours of sitting around drinking water, I was fine. But that was the first time I'd
for
done
a non-whiskey guy.
It was the first time I'd done a shot of whiskey in quite some time, and it did go down smooth though.
Oh yeah, it's Maker's Mark.
Yeah, It did go down smooth. So
there you go. It sounded like you guys had a blast. I had to work. I was shooting soccer last night.
Yeah, they kept asking where you were.
Yeah, I was shooting soccer.
Said you had to work. So, but
duty called.
It was a good time.
Judy called. That's the regionals. You got to cover those games.
I get it. But yeah.
For those of you new to the podcast, Nick and I are both journalists, and we own our own newspapers, and, sometimes we got to go cover stuff.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah.
But no, so it was sitting around last night that Corey and I kind of formulated up some future plans for the podcast, some ideas and things of that nature. So we're going to have some cigars that we're going to get and smoke and things of that nature, and it'll be nice. It'll be good. There was another gentleman that was not he wasn't able to come to the bar with us, but he hung out with us at the Hill, and he's a rep for Oliva. His name is Joe Voss, and Joe was super nice. We actually met Joe, I think, at the Kansas City Cigar Festival.
Yep, I thought so.
And so we got to talking, and in the process, Joe recommended a cigar that we're going to smoke in our next episode, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We're jumping ahead here, so I don't.
As we often do.
We said we don't really have a roadmap for this episode, so we're all over the place right now.
If you've listened to any of the earlier podcasts, you might think we don't have a roadmap. We usually have at least some sort of sketchy outline.
Sketchy at best.
Nothing today.
Yeah.
Nothing. We are winging this one. And which leads me to my next point. I want to talk about some television for a minute.
Okay.
So I
Random.
I watched two things that I want to talk about. Number one, El Camino.
I haven't watched that yet. We can't talk about it.
Oh, we're talking about it.
We can't.
Well,
no.
I'm going to talk about the fact you haven't watched it.
Okay, but we're not talking about the show.
Before we started the podcast today, I had to kill a little time before a conference call so we could start up. And before my conference call, I showed Nick the trailer to El Camino on Netflix. It's so good. Now,
I'm sure
Kristen, by the way,
who and
did
Kristen
not
being
my ex-wife.
Okay.
It's a long story, folks. We're really good friends.
We could get into that today if you want.
Yeah, that's probably best. No one gets it, including Kristen and I. But whatever, it works, and we're going with it. But
that brings me to one quick point. This episode is brought to you by our new sponsor, Dirt Dash. When it absolutely, positively has to get to you hot and fresh because she needs to love me, you need to call Dirt Dash.
Oh, my God. Anyway. So
there's about a half dozen people out there that are going to get that.
Oh, my God. You're going straight to hell. So anyway. So that being said.
You think they'll bring me some Beast? Chick-fil-A? Lion's Choice.
It is the choice of Lions.
It is, and it's only 45 minutes away from here.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so that being said, we watch El Camino. And I don't think she liked it. I think she was expecting more out of it. I got exactly what I wanted. It was like a hour and a half, 2 hour continuation of Breaking Bad, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you need to watch it so we can discuss details.
All right, you know what?
I don't want to be a spoiler guy on here because there are going to be people on.
There's a lot of people that haven't watched it yet. Yeah. We were actually talking about this at the Hill last night briefly. Somebody brought it up there, and there were about 3 of us that said, "Don't say a word. We haven't gotten around to watching it yet." So it's one of those things that it's relatively new out on Netflix. So don't spoil it,
I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm saying...
Or else I'm putting out my Espiritu in your eye.
Exactly. You need to watch it. Look at these dimes.
Yeah, you're stacking over there.
I'm saying...
I went ahead and just kind of shook some loose.
You gave up. Well, you party fouled yourself pretty bad on the last cast.
I did.
You did. Yeah. Actually, you did that at the Hill, or at Top Shooters, too, when we were there Monday.
Did I?
Yeah. Or was that Tuesday? It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yeah, yep. I did. Yeah,
you party fouled hard on Tuesday.
Yeah.
He went to reach for the ashtray and missed it by a good foot.
I was literally getting ready to ash into the ashtray.
I saw you start to extend your arm, and it just collapsed all over you.
It collapsed about a foot away from the ashtray.
Wow, yep. So now the other thing I want to talk about.
3 seconds too long.
The other thing I want to talk about on television, are the Cardinals still in the playoffs?
No.
Oh, then, okay, so we'll skip that. Let's move on. That was a brutal series, dude. The Nationals just kicked their ass.
Well, here's the problem with – all right, So here,
At least we're playing hockey.
Our brief baseball rant for a second. So we were on such a high on that last game against the Braves.
We kicked Atlanta's butt.
We spent all of our offense in one inning and brought nothing to the series against Washington.
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't know if the Cardinals went to that series against Washington. That might have been our AAA team.
Possibly.
They may have just all went to the
Swapped
Bahamas
off.
and partied.
Yeah.
Because they didn't show up to the game.
I'll tell you, at this point, I'm all in for Houston.
Any of the games, all 4 of them, they didn't show up.
At this point, I'm all in for Houston.
Really?
Yep. Why?
I'm a National League guy.
No, they beat the Cardinals. See, here's the way this works.
Oh, my
this is
God.
the way this works. You have your home team, okay?
But our home team is a National League team.
But our home team was beat by the Nationals, so you have to screw the Nationals now.
No, we're...
Yeah, no.
You can't switch leagues.
Yeah, you can. And you know,
Oh, Miller.
and then Houston is going to beat the Yankees, which I'm all cool with too.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that all
and
day.
so
because they're too good to even put their names on their jerseys.
And Houston, the last time Houston won the World Series, what did they celebrate with? Oscar Valdez cigars.
Well, okay.
And so I'm hoping they do it again, and I hope they give Oscar a bump and smoke his cigars again.
Well, I got no problem with that. Trust me, I get smoking an Oscar cigar. They're one of my favorites.
There you go.
So the actual second...
I'm all in for Houston.
The second thing I actually wanted to talk about, now that I've made my joke about the Cardinals, that's really going to tick off the locals, and everybody else in the country is going to think it's funny. The second thing I want to talk about
what it
is
they were at least a couple players away from being competitive.
Last night.
What about last night? Because you didn't hang out and have fun with me.
I did not. But you know what I did do? I watched Ghost Hunters. And you know where they were?
Ghost Hunters.
Yes. Have you ever seen Ghost Hunters? Grant and the team?
That's like an old show.
No, it's back on. They're making new episodes, brother.
Oh, God.
You're missing out.
Hearing EVPs. We're hearing EVPs.
Right. Guess where they were?
Where?
Oakville.
What?
Yes. They were at the
hotel.
Folks,
Oakville's like 30 minutes from my house.
Yeah. They were at the Original Springs Hotel in Oakville.
The one where you and I trolled the bar.
Yes.
So,
Which leads me into this story.
All right, guys. So Jeff and I have this thing that we like to do.
In full disclosure, Nick started this, but I've jumped on board.
Okay, bars typically have jukeboxes put out by a company called Touch Tunes, all right? And the beauty of the Touch Tunes jukeboxes is they have an app, so you can control the jukebox from anywhere in the room. You don't have to go up to...
You don't even have to be in the room.
You don't even really technically be in the room. You can go... You don't have to go up to the device, put in your money. You buy your credits and whatnot on your phone. You select your song on your phone, and it puts it in the queue. And so what's awesome is when you're at like a country western bar and you throw on like some rap music and just watch the room change dramatically.
Oh, it'll turn on you.
It'll turn. And what's really fun is when...
God, we're going to rat ourselves out to so many people right now.
Yeah, people are about to find out that it was us. What's really fun is when you go to a place like the Diamond Mineral Springs.
Is it Diamond Mineral? It's Original Springs.
I thought it was Diamond Mineral.
No, I think it's Original
whatever.
Springs.
When you go to a place like the place we're talking about in Oakville, which is populated by a bunch of country guys, and...
Now, just to give people an idea, a sense of the place, it's this big, giant, like, turn-of-the-century hotel.
Yeah.
The last century, not the new one. And it's this big, giant hotel built over a mineral spring, and on one side they have a restaurant.
They have like a spa and all this kind of stuff.
They have a spa, they have an indoor pool, hotel rooms, and then a bar on the other side. So we were in the restaurant, and they're like, hey, we're closing up, but you can go to the other side and go to the bar. So we did.
So there's maybe about, 6 or 8 people in there plus the bartender.
Yeah, probably that's fair.
Locals, some country guys, farmers, just hanging out.
After work,
having
a good time.
So there's country music playing.
So we decide to ruin it for them.
And so we go and we notice they have a touch tune. So we start playing Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison. If you haven't heard Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison, you should Google that. And
play it about 8 times.
That's the thing. Jeff and I didn't play it once. We didn't play it twice. We ended up playing it about 6 or 7 times in a row. And Jeff just party fouled his ashes. We played it like 6 or 7 times in a row just to be those guys. And you got to the point where people are looking at each other like, this song again. And then you got somebody that's like, again?
You can
And
feel
then-
the air in the room change.
Then
The atmosphere changes.
And then, did you notice, like, the third time it started up, the bartender went over and turned the volume on the jukebox down? It was amazing. So, yeah, we're those guys. I like to, there's a place here near here in Columbia called Top Shooters.
We referenced them earlier.
And
yep.
we like going to Top Shooters and
those bastards turn it off.
We like to sit out and smoke on their patio. And, yeah, they found a way to just straight up turn it off when the second time started. But the other thing that I like to do with them, so you can't do the repeat with them. They've cut off the repeat option.
Yeah.
But what's fun to do with them is to mix it up. Because I've noticed Return of the Mac is actually starting to play in their normal rotation. Somebody there actually likes that song.
Oh, God.
And they're actually playing it normally. But what's fun to do with them, and let me tell you about Top Shooters. Unlike the Mineral Springs where you get like farmers and country guys, Top Shooters is more of your union labor / biker bar kind of thing going on. So you get some like kind of tough guys and you get some blue collar guys.
We fit right in.
Not really, but
No,
you know,
not at all.
Whatever. But anyway, and so what's fun to do
But we're
with
smoking cigars, so normally they leave us alone.
They do.
Yeah.
And what's fun to do there is to play either children's songs like Raffi or Barney or those kind of things. Or my personal favorite,
Oh, God.
William Shatner's spoken word version of Rocket Man by Elton John.
It is the worst thing ever.
It's amazing. And let me tell you, it will suck all the energy out of the room because it goes on forever. And it's just William Shatner doing the most William Shatner version of Rocket Man you can ever imagine.
Guys, if you've
It's the funniest thing to
if
do.
If you've gotten a sense of knowing us on the podcast, we just sit back and we pray no one realizes it's us. But we just sit and watch the mojo just die.
And here's the thing. We've told multiple waitresses at Top Shooters about this podcast, so I'm sure one of them one day will actually listen to this and realize,
and know it's us.
Holy shit, it was those guys that played that.
Well, the other thing, Neil Diamond.
Yeah, get a little bit of the Jewish Elvis going on in there. And
what is the one that we play over and over?
Well, that's not Neil Diamond.
What's New Pussycat?
That's not Neil Diamond.
Oh, who is that?
Oh, who does sing What's New Pussycat?
What's New Pussycat? Oh,
hang on, we're gonna.
You're right. That's not Neil Diamond.
No,
who
that's not Neil Diamond. But I do.
Let's scratch the Neil Diamond.
I do. Well, no, I like Neil Diamond in terms of this kind of stuff.
That's not Neil Diamond.
That's not Neil Diamond. It's
Marky Mark.
Definitely not Marky. Tom Jones.
Tom Jones.
I should have known that.
Okay,
It's
so
Tom
what
Jones.
we'll do. Okay, so
somebody was sitting listening to this, screaming at their radio, going, "It's Tom Jones!"
Yeah. So we'll play that. We'll play "What's New Pussycat" like 2 or 3 times, and then we'll mix in.
In all fairness, the "What's New Pussycat" thing, we did rip that off from a comedy bit.
Oh yeah, and it's hilarious.
That one. Now, what's funny is I had a coworker tell me about this comedy bit regarding "What's New Pussycat" and playing it over and over and over on a jukebox. After I told them the story about you and I at the Mineral Springs doing that with Mark Morrison in Return of the Mac. And so that's when we started folding What's New Pussycat into the portfolio of music.
So and I wish I could remember the comedian's name. I'd love to give him
You
credit
can YouTube it. Just YouTube What's New Pussycat
comedy
repeat or something like that. And you'll
it's
find it.
Well, what he would do is he would take What's New Pussycat and he'd play it 3 or 4 times. And he said you could just see people just visibly getting angry. And then he plays like Coming to America or something.
Just something different. Now
breaks it up with one song.
You really can't get Neil Diamond and Tom Jones separated in your mind.
To me, they're the same person.
They're really not. It's significantly different.
Coming to America.
Diamonds in the Rough.
Right.
I liked that movie. Saving Silverman. I did. I liked that movie.
I only know the Air Force hand signals. See, did you get that?
I did get that. Yeah.
That's a great movie. And by the way, I love Amanda Peet.
So last night, we're at this bar, and they've got a Touch Tunes jukebox.
Oh, no.
But because it was only our group in there, I did. There was and
You didn't want to kill the mojo
and
of your own group.
nobody else knew how to operate this jukebox.
Oh.
I was the only one who,
So it would have been obvious.
It would have been super obvious that I was the one that was screwing with them. So I actually revealed what I do with it to that group last night. So they were amused by that. No, the touch tune jukeboxes are actually really fun because unlike the old school jukebox where you're kind of limited to by what music is in that machine.
Yeah.
These are operated by the internet, and so you kind of have
and
lots
where they
and
get
lots
you,
and lots
it's
of
like
options.
there's things in the playlist, but if you want to go outside of the playlist, you have to pay more.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And then also you can bump your music up. So like let's say some guy came in and put on this giant long AC/DC playlist, and you're just desperate to get Return of the Mac in the middle of that.
I was going to say, why would you want to mess up AC/DC?
You can pay a little bit more to bump your song and interrupt the
and like I said, at
mojo.
Top Shooters, they just turn it off.
Yeah.
They have figured out a way to delete our song.
They will turn it off. They'll give it one.
Yeah.
But once the second time starts, that's when it gets cut off.
And then it became a challenge for us one night. So we kept playing it like every other song. And you'd hear it start to kick on. It'd get about 10 seconds in and they'd turn it off.
And the problem with that is you have to pay for the songs even though they're turning them off. So all I was doing was losing money.
We were both doing it that night.
Yeah,
we were going
true.
back and forth. That was a lot of fun.
It was a thing. Well, and then there was that night you decided that you were going to try and trick them a little bit. You did it with Wagon Wheel. Remember the song Wagon Wheel?
I played Wagon Wheel, but
you did different versions.
Yeah.
So it was different artists doing
Old Crow Medicine Show, Hootie.
And but what was funny is they kind of figured that out pretty quick too and cut that off as well. So
it got through 3 versions though.
It did. It took it 2.5 because by the third one that's when they realized, wait, we've heard Wagon Wheel now 2 times, different musicians but the same song, and that's when they cut that off.
If you're going to listen to Wagon Wheel, you got to do Old Crow Medicine Show. That's the only way to listen to Wagon Wheel.
I just realized something.
What's that?
As I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the table, and I just realized something. You had to borrow my torch, and my cutter's sitting over there.
Yeah.
Do you not have the cutter from Bjorn?
It's in my Jeep.
Okay.
Yes. I have not lost it yet. Thank you, Bjorn. That's a good cutter, too. That thing is sharp.
I was just about to give you crap because it was just the other day. It was Tuesday. You and I were at Top Shooters, and you mentioned you had the cutter, and you were like, "I've got the cutter from Bjorn." But then
Nick's like, "Well, I'm surprised you haven't lost it yet." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is the first time.
First time it's out of the house, so the clock is ticking."
Yeah, the clock's running. That's my problem. I'm kind of like Catcher in the Rye with fingernail clippers and cigar cutters. Like, I buy hundreds of them over the course of a year, and I don't know where any of them are, ever.
How is that like Catcher in the Rye?
Because every time I find them, I'm obsessed I have to buy them. They're my Catcher in the Rye.
I'm still missing the correlation.
Like John
here.
Hinckley, or all the serial killers always have Catcher in the Rye, and they have multiple copies. Did you ever watch Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson?
Why?
In Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts.
Are you saying that you buy multiple copies of Catcher in the Rye?
No, I'm saying I buy multiple cigar cutters and fingernail clippers.
Like they buy.
Yeah, like they buy Catcher in the Rye.
I get it. Weird comparison,
but I can never find any of them. Like I lose so many of these things.
I do the same thing with fingernail clippers, but I actually found like a treasure trove of them. Maybe about 6 months ago.
It's like they all migrate together in your house.
Cleaning my home office, and I found a box that I guess it was stuff that used to be in or on a desk that I had. And I started looking through this box, and there were, I swear to God, a half dozen fingernail clippers.
I am convinced that these things migrate together. They're like magnets, and they just attract each other in one central location.
Somewhere in this house, there's just like 50 pairs of fingernail clippers.
Oh, there have to be, and they're all hiding from me. It's so annoying. Fingernail, toenail, all the nails, all the clippers. But it's happening now to me with cigar cutters.
You've got some sort of little goblin living in the crawl space that is stealing this
Or a homeless guy in the attic, one of the two.
Or Addie's a klepto.
Well, that's probably not that far off. She is my kid. So, Nick, how's your cigar?
Well, okay. It's still strong.
Mine's peppering up on me. I'm about halfway.
I'm not. See,
You're further along than I am.
no, I'm not. You're further along than I
Oh,
am.
you just removed your band. It makes it look like it.
Yeah. Either I'm getting used to the spice, or maybe it's like kind of backed off and it's going to come back at me again.
Now,
Because you are further ahead of me.
a little bit. Now, Nick mentioned something to me the other day, and I'm not going to lie, folks. I've smoked cigars off and on since I was 16 years old. I shouldn't admit that, but I have. Back then, it wasn't that big a deal. Now it is.
Yeah.
For kids to.
Anyway.
But that being said, Nick explained something to me the other day that it's a concept that I don't know why I never thought about. We're sitting up at Top Shooters, and I go to cut my cigar, and I think it was one. I don't remember what the cigar was. I hate to admit, but when I clipped it, I janked up the end.
It was a Perdomo Lot 23.
It was. You're right. It was
a
Perdomo Lot
23.
I think it had been in my humidor a little too long, and I must not have my humidity up because I never have a problem with those cigars. So I'm not going to sit here and dog on those cigars. It's one of my favorites. But when I clipped it, I just shattered the end when I cut it. So I decided I'm just going to smoke it back. It exploded.
Splintered apart.
Yeah. Like a tree getting hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to turn it around, smoke it backwards. And that's when Nick explained to me the concept of smoking a cigar backwards and what you're doing.
Well, you're getting when they formulate up the cigar and when they're rolling it and everything like that, the tobaccos are put in there in certain ways, and that's how you get the flavor profiles and everything with the cigar. So
I had never thought about this.
When you have a cigar that transitions from maybe like a sweet to a peppery to something like that, by smoking it backwards, you're screwing up the whole concept that the blender had for that cigar.
And you're saying that the smoking end with the cap is usually more filtery than like the front of the cigar would be.
Well, I mean, maybe not more filtery, but the tobacco
it's arranged in such a way.
As a natural filter, and everything. So yeah, by doing it that way, yeah, you're definitely smoking it like
wrong.
I mean, I guess there's no wrong. You're not smoking it the way it was intended.
Well, there was no way I could smoke it in the shape I left it in after the cut.
That's true.
So,
but you're definitely not smoking it in the way that it's intended. Speaking of things with cigars, that was, first time you thought about that. As we've said multiple times on this show, we are not the kind of guys that are going to tell you, oh, we're getting flavors of this or that.
I'm getting nutmeg and
like specific food
honey.
flavors.
Yeah.
We're not into giving you specific food flavors as it relates to cigars. However, I took a cold draw on a cigar the other day, and it was the very first time that I ever had an immediate food flavor come to mind. Like, I took that cold draw, and my brain just immediately said, that tastes like this. And
what was it?
I was taking a cold draw off a CLE Connecticut 6x60.
Which we've actually
we have
featured.
smoked that on the show, and at the time, I've never had this before. I mean, I bought a box when Christian Aroa was at the Hill. I bought a box of these CLE Connecticut's, and I've probably smoked half of that box by now. And this is the first time that I've ever had this, that I've ever encountered this. But on that cold draw, I'll be honest, I didn't take the cold draw with the intention of getting a flavor. I did it because I had a small little piece of wrapper kind of flake when I cut it, and so I was doing the cold draw really just to kind of tamp down that piece of wrapper before I was going to light it. And when I did the cold draw, I got the unmistakable taste of graham cracker.
That's and he called me.
I did. I called you about it. I was
You're not going to believe this.
Like, dude, I legit just tasted graham cracker on this cigar. And like I said, I have not had it with any other cigar since to where I can say, oh, that tastes like this. But for whatever reason, my brain was firing in such a way at that moment on that day.
It might be the tumor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That I just immediately got graham cracker off of that cigar.
Now, talking about the flavors of this cigar, I'm getting a little more pepper now. I'm actually pairing it up with some coffee, and I've sweetened my coffee, which I normally don't do. But it is pairing. I've got a nice kind of a medium roast organic coffee with a little bit of like raw sugar, and it is pairing up really nicely. The sweetness of the coffee with the spice of the cigar.
Well, there you go.
I know. And we don't really talk about pairings. We did in the first or second episode. We haven't.
Well,
really
we had
talked
the
about it since then.
Di-Serono, but I mean, I haven't trotted that back out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we don't want to do some day drinking.
I mean, I could.
I gotta go to work.
You,
I'm still driving to work after this.
I would say you still have things to do. I mean, I still have things to do as well, but
But yeah, this coffee is pairing up really nicely with the spiciness of the cigar.
Well, there you go.
It's and that's again, and we've talked about this several times on the cast, but it's one of those things where I normally my go-to would not be a cigar like this, something spicy, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's good.
I'm branching out a lot on this podcast because I'm a Connecticut shade-grown guy all day long.
Well, no, you're that's good. That's the point.
That's the point of the podcast.
Expand the palate, which then just helps the palate figure out what it appreciates.
So, Nick, let's talk about our sponsor.
So we are sponsored by,
and we're looking for more sponsors if
we
anyone's
are
interested.
Indeed. So
our numbers are looking good.
Our numbers are looking good. We're definitely picking up.
Thank you to everyone listening.
And tell friends, because that's the way we can promote this. But we are.
It's all word of mouth.
We are partnered right now with, MyMonthlyCigars.com, and the deal with MyMonthlyCigars.com is it is a subscription service. You get your choice of what box you want to subscribe to. You can either subscribe to 2 cigars for $20, 4 cigars for $30. There's the 8 cigars for $50, but the 8 cigars that you get in there, it's 2 of each of the cigars in the 4 cigar box. So it's a good one for you and a friend. And the deal is...
Or just you if you like to smoke a lot.
And then there's that.
Yeah.
So right now, if you go to MyMonthlyCigars.com and subscribe and use the offer code PULPIT when you're checking out, that's PULPIT. And you can get 10% off of your order in their store because they do sell a few other items, or you get free shipping on your first subscription. So,
and we're always promoting our brick and mortar stores.
Well,
but if you don't have one, or like Nick has talked about before with this service with MyMonthlyCigars.com, you're going to be getting sticks that you're not used to, and kind of like I said earlier on the podcast here, just a moment ago, you get a chance to try things that you might not normally try and expand your horizons.
Exactly, and see the nice thing with that is, let's say you get something in the box that you really want to, or that you try and you really like. Now you can go to your brick and mortar and say, hey, I tried this, I really liked it, I want you to order more of them. And you're not taking a gamble, the store's not taking a gamble, because let's say you didn't know that you liked it, but you maybe heard about it, and you tell the brick and mortar to order it and they get it in. Well, maybe you don't like it, and then they're stuck with 19 more sticks because maybe it's a 20-count box or something like that.
And then they're just praying for somebody else to try it.
Precisely. So, and the nice thing with My Monthly Cigars, too, is they have an MSRP guarantee, which basically means that the value of the cigars in the box is guaranteed to be at or above the cost of the box, minus the shipping. So, when you order the $30 4-cigar box, you're guaranteed that you're getting cigars that are valued at $30 or more.
Yep.
So that's kind of nice.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And then, so Nick, real quick here, let's talk about where we're at on our cigars, what you're tasting, and then we'll get into the socials and how people get a hold of us.
I'm about halfway, I'd say, on this cigar, and the pepper has definitely subsided, and or else I'm used to it. I think
you're getting used to it because I'm picking it up more now than I was in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm not getting as much pepper off of it. I'm just getting a kind of basic woody taste off of it. I'll tell you, everybody has a different palate.
Yep.
So take my opinion for what it's worth, which is one man's opinion. But I'm not impressed.
Really?
No, I'm really not.
I'm not hating it.
I like I said, I got the sweet off the cold draw. I got pepper right away, and since then it's just kind of been there. It's just kind of been. I mean, it's strong, but it's just. I'm not impressed.
It's not blowing your skirt up.
No,
Nick likes his skirt blown up.
I'm not. I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I'm not hating on it. It's not a cigar that I'd pick. Walking into, say, the Hill or the Cigar Barn down in Paducah or the Yesteryear Tobacconist in Carbondale, some of the places I frequent. It's not a cigar I would go in and necessarily buy, but I don't have a problem with it.
yeah. I mean,
I'm a creature of habit when I'm buying cigars out.
it was something. It's something to smoke. I mean, it was something to try. I got this cigar off the recommendation of a guy. I figured it out. It was JR Cigars in Clayton that I picked this up.
Oh, okay.
And I asked the guy, "Hey, what's new?" He's like,
Clayton,
"Well,
Missouri. Yep.
yeah." He's like, the Clayton area in St. Louis. Yeah.
For those folks listening across the country.
Yeah. And so the guy said, "Hey, this just came out of IPCPR, so give this a try." He's like, "It's a real spicy one, blah blah blah, and all that." And I was looking for a few different things at the time, so I didn't want to just buy up a whole bunch of Connecticut's or something. I wanted a variety for us to smoke on the show, and so I went ahead and got this. And
see, and I don't mind smoking it because you bought it.
Cheap ass, but
Truth.
so
much truth.
But yeah, after taking some time with it, it's just not. It's not blowing my socks off.
Fair enough.
I'm not digging it too much. I'll tell you, I had a Roma Craft Neanderthal last night at the Hill.
You put a picture of that up, yeah.
I love that cigar.
Really?
Oh man, dude. I keep threatening it. We have to do a Roma Craft on the show one day.
I'm all in.
We're not going to do it next episode, but maybe the episode after that.
And folks, give us your recommendations. And
Definitely.
we've smoked a few from some
We
folks.
We have. Yeah. No, we're all in for recommendations, but I'm thinking that for next episode, which would be Tuesday, we're going to smoke.
Still on the 2 a week, huh?
We are. You're not getting me off that, dude. The demand is there.
The demand is
there.
I don't know if we're going to be able to keep it up over the winter. We can always circle back in the spring and go back to 2 a day or 2 a weeks.
You're just being a wuss.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I got to work sometimes.
He says this.
Although this is more fun than work, I'm not going to lie.
He says this, but yet. So.
Yeah.
All the more reason we need some advertising on this show. That way we can start making some money off of it. And then at that point, we can just do this.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. So, next episode, we will be smoking a cigar that the Oliva rep, Joe, turned us on to. It is the Oliva Master Blends 3, specifically the Torpedo.
I've heard that's the good stuff.
I'm
led to believe.
That's what I've been led to believe as well, so we shall see.
We're going to find out on Tuesday.
My experience with Oliva tends to have just been the Serie V. I've had some Oliva Serie V, and those are good. But I'm looking forward to the Master Blends 3.
Coming up on a future cast, I want to do each of our top 5s.
Oh.
I've got my top 4. I'm still looking for number 5.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah, that would. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put some thought into
I
that.
Know. I've got 4.
I mean, everybody. It's no secret whatsoever that I absolutely love the
champagne
Perdomo champagne.
He loves his champagne cigars.
You jerk. But anyway,
loves them.
But yeah, I'll have to think.
They're good.
I'll have to think long and hard about the other ones. I don't know.
I've said this before. My Perdomo is going to be a Lot 23.
Yeah,
I enjoy the Lot 23. I think it's a good consistent smoke for me. And it's in my palate wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse.
Yep. There you go, folks. Get out the bingo cards.
I'm going to make a T-shirt with the bingo card on it.
I think that'd be awesome.
Would you folks buy a T-shirt that had the Cigar Pulpit bingo card on it? Maybe delightful. With that being said, wheelhouse. All the
There are lots of things that we repeat over and over.
So maybe put the little. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a T. I I think a
We need some
t-shirt would-
swag.
We do need swag.
We need swag.
I'm gonna have to start working on some swag.
We've had requests for swag. I've had people ask me for it.
Really?
Yes, I have.
Well, the stickers are popular.
The
so
stickers
I
are
mean,
very popular.
I would think that
The
swag
stickers
would
were Nick's
also-
idea, and those were a good idea.
I think the stickers being popular. I think maybe we should look into some swag.
Well, there you go.
That could be fun.
It could be.
We could trot it out. Just
Or you and I could just be wearing those shirts forever since we have like 72 of them or something.
trot it out for Christmas. It could be perfect Christmas gifts.
See, right?
For the cigar lover in your life.
Aw,
Aw.
that's fresh.
Oh.
So, Nick, how
Lord.
do people get a hold of us?
We are on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. We are also on Facebook and Twitter under Cigar Pulpit. You can find us.
Facebook's starting to get a little more play now.
That's good.
Yeah, Instagram has been our thing. It's been our jam.
It has. We are on YouTube. That is The Cigar Pulpit. I need to get some more videos up, but we are there. And then, obviously, you can email me at nick@cigarpulpit.com.
Good stuff. Give us your recommendations. Give us your reviews, by the way. If you go on to Podbeam or any of the other podcast sources that you may be listening to, the Google Plays and Apple and whatnot, give us a review.
Yes, we like reviews.
Preferably 5-star, but let us know what you think.
We like reviews.
We do like reviews.
If you don't want to give us 5-star, just go away.
Exactly.
If you can't say
You're
anything
dead
nice,
to us.
if you can't say anything nice, just don't say anything at all.
Exactly.
That's all we ask.
Well, we don't want them to get up and storm out like Nancy Pelosi in a meeting at the White House.
No.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. I
Keep
mean,
listening.
Keep listening. Just don't review us.
Yeah, just hate on us in private.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
There's plenty of people doing that. Mostly ones that know us.
It's true.
Yeah. If you know us, you're hating on us.
Oh, my. Well, Jeff,
it's been a beautiful day here on the deck. I've enjoyed the cigar. I know you haven't, but
I'm not saying I haven't.
you kind of said that.
It's just kind of there.
You kind of said that.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah. I'm not hating on it.
I'm not hating it. I just am not super...
You and I haven't been agreeing a lot lately. Have you noticed
I'm just
that?
not super impressed.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's not what you thought it was going to be.
Here's the
I
thing.
had no expectations going in. I think that helps.
You hear certain names thrown around every once in a while. You know, AJ Fernandez and whatnot. And a lot of people throw that run. And I'm not saying that maybe other cigars that he makes aren't good, because I don't know. This one's just kind of there.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, okay.
Hey,
you know?
You know what? That's why we smoke them on here.
But that's the thing. Different tastes
And you
for
guys,
different
you guys
folks,
smoke it. Let us know
and-
what you think.
Yeah.
Because we do have people that have told us they are purposely going out and getting the cigars that we're trying, and smoking along with us, or smoking when or if and when they listen to the podcast, they're smoking along with us, and we'd love to know what you think.
Exactly.
Because trust me, we're not really educated palates. We're just two guys that like sitting around BS and talking about cigars.
Exactly. So go out, get an Oliva Master Blends 3 Torpedo. I mean, I guess you could get a different size than a Torpedo, but we are going to be smoking a Torpedo. And go out and get an Oliva Master Blends 3 and smoke along with that with us with the next episode if you'd like.
So anyway, yeah, at some point we'll do, coming up here soon, we'll do our top 5 and talk about that. So Nick's going to have to put a little thought in. I've got my 4. I need my 5th cigar.
Yeah, we'll have to put in a little thought into that. And, I mean, I guess we could be like everybody else and do like, Cigar of the Year.
Ooh.
That
could be our end of the year podcast.
Yeah. What was Nick and Gator's Cigar of the Year?
There you go.
I mean, we could do that.
We could.
I don't know if we need to.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, anyway, Nick, it's been a beautiful day. I'm glad you came down.
Always a fun time, Jeff.
Good times.
It's been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. That was Gator.
Oh, yeah.
And until next time, folks, stay smoky.